All right, so we're going to be using Glide to build this tool. If you're not aware of Glide, it's a really great internal software no-code builder. And so you're going to create a new project. I've already created a template to use from today. And when you first jump in, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but what I usually start with is just the 3 tabs up top. So you've got data, which is all of your back-end information. Think of data like your spreadsheets, like Excel or Google Sheets. Layout, which is your front-end interface. This is where all of your users will be, and this is the screen they'll see. And then actions, which is a really powerful tab, and this allows you to create kind of workflows within the app based on triggers. So we'll get more into that in a second, but we'll just start here with layout. So the first thing you want to do is click this plus button, and you're going to need a comments or a chat component. The difference between the two is just the way they look. So you can see here I can change the style. So it's pretty simple. And the next thing you're going to want to do is create a container and put in a file picker inside. So this is going to be the way that you can add documents from your computer. Cool. Let's go back to the back end now. So 2 tables, you're going to need a user table and I called it a chat table, but you can call this whatever you like. Let's start with the chat table. So you're going to need a message column, an author ID column, an author email column, created column, which is a date, type column, recipient, and an image. And to come back over to the users, you are going to need a name, email, photo. Now these all load in by default, which is great, but you will need these extra columns here. So this is a doc to text column. Now this is like a Glide specific kind of data set, and what it does is it converts a document field into text, which is pretty powerful, as you'll see soon. So the next thing you need is a file column, and probably don't need this one, which is good. I can delete that. You'll need a question column, an answer column, and then this wee handy template column. So a template is a great tool for combining different column information together with other static text. And what this will do is if you've got a bunch of different columns, let's say you've got columns that you own a car dealership and you've got a red car, a blue car, a yellow car, you might want to say red car, $40, and you want to have that all in one cell. And so what this enables you to do is to replace one column information with some static text. And here's what that actually looks like. You've got a question, and then you've got all of the information. But you see here, all of this information here isn't actually typed into the cell. It's actually grabbing that from, you see why, it's grabbing that from our doc to text column. Yeah, that was a lot, but let's just move on. Cool, so over to the layout tab, and what we have here is when I add a document, so let's go do that fresh. Where are we? Let's go here. This is just a random sale and purchase agreement that I found online. Once you load that in, then what's happening in the background is in our users table, this column here, doc to text, has now transcribed the whole document into one cell. And so as you can tell, there's a lot of information, and that's why we're going to build this tool, because we want to be able to access that information lightning quick. And so yeah, let's dive in. So what we might start with is just asking a simple question. So what is the vendor's name? Do vendor/owner. So obviously if you're buying property in New Zealand and you're aware of a sale and purchase agreement, you're going to have a bunch of information, and one of those things is a vendor's name. Awesome, so that worked. It's pulled the vendor's name from the document. Okay, now let's go something else. When does the deposit need to be paid? Ask that. Deposit needs to be paid 10% of the purchase price upon acceptance. There is no specific date, but it is listed as upon acceptance. So that's awesome. So how is this all happening? I've showed you how to extract the document text into a column, but how is it that I'm able to ask, the AI questions about that cell with all of that information, and it's returning really good responses? So that is pretty simple. What I've built out here is an after submit action. So this is a workflow like we were talking about at the start that is housed in this actions tab, you see here. And this is all happening behind the scenes, which is so amazing, because all the user sees, or you watching this right now, is me typing in a question, is the purchaser's lawyer's name. That's all we're seeing. But then what's actually happening is it's running another workflow in the background. So the purchaser's name is not provided. So the easy way to set this up is you click on this after submit action, and then you're going to come to actions for chat. You're going to create a new action. So if we jump into that here, what you'll see is happening is the first thing we're doing is we need to submit the question to our user profile. And I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to submit the question, which is message, to the user profile row. The next thing we're going to do is this is the AI part. We're going to generate text. So this is using Glide's AI features, and generate text is the one that we've selected. You'll see before we use documented text, and the instructions we're giving it is answer the question using the PDF extract text. And this is that called template column that we used. So to explain this to you, what I was meaning is we're adding in the question here every time we type enter, adding in the question to the logged in user's profile. And then what this column is doing is it's populating the question where we've got the X as the replacement, and then it is giving the PDF extract as well. So the great thing about this is that this is actually just the prompt that we're sending to the AI. It's got all of the information it could need. It's got the question, and it's got all of the input. So to come back to that, we've got generate text, and we've used high power, which is just it's going to work. It's going to use, I'm not sure exactly how high power works. I think it's just going to be a lot more accurate than, say, the default mode. And it's going to write the result into the answer column. And then the last step here is it's going to add a row into our chat component. So the first row that we added to chat was our message. Then this action sequence happens. And then the last step in the action sequence is to add in the last message from the AI, giving us the response. And you'll see here I've just mapped the message being the answer, and the author ID being body. That can kind of be whatever it is because it's only a one-way chat. Well, you're only messaging a robot. So, and author email and credit is today's time. Well, that's funny. It actually needs to be this one. Recipient is us, and the image, I've just grabbed an image of a robot like I was mentioning before. So that's it. You can literally upload any document you want, and all of a sudden you have a working doc bot. If you like this kind of content, then please leave me a message, send me an email, and I'd love to be able to help you build better software. Cheers.